Alright, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this deck of cards here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it to you, and I want you to go ahead and shuffle the cards. Now, I don't have anyone here, but I'll just shuffle for them. So, cards have been shuffled. So I take the cards back, I spread through them and say, let's see, yeah, so you can see here, they're all, completely shuffled and mixed up, right? There's no order to anything, nothing like that, right? Alright, look, check it out. What I'm going to do is I am actually going to run through the cards, and you say to actually just touch any card. Let's say they touch this card right here, and let's say they touch that card, and I'm going to say, all right, let's take a look here. I want you to memorize the card that you touched, and hopefully you guys can see that. If you can't, hopefully that's better. All right, so I don't know what card you touched, only you do. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to shuffle the cards back into the deck like this. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm actually going to get something here. Let's see here. It's in, I think it's, here it is. It's actually a piece of Juicier Fruit gum. It's a piece of Juicier Fruit gum. You can see that. But there's something pretty cool you can do with the Juicier Fruit gum. In fact, mainly just the logo. Let me show you this. If I stand up here and you see that I take the Juicier Fruit logo and give it a little bit of a rub, you'll notice that it actually changes into the name of your card. Hopefully it was the 6 of Hearts. But what's even cooler than that is that if you now go through this deck, I can go through it, but you can go through it too, you'll find that there is no 6 of Hearts in the pack now. The 6 of Hearts has completely vanished from the pack, even though I'm sure, this deck of cards has been through a little bit of use, so I'm sure there's a duplicate card in here somewhere. There may or may not be, but, there's no 6 of Hearts anywhere. No 6 of Hearts anywhere. And that's because inside the sleeve of the Juicier Fruit wrapper is a piece of gum. But it doesn't really look like a piece of gum. In fact, if you ask me, it looks more like a playing card. And for the first time, will you please name your card? They say the 6 of Hearts. Well, 6 of Hearts. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josiah, and I am a magician. Yay! Anyway, hopefully you guys have been excited for this tutorial coming up, because I definitely have. Today I'm going to be showing you guys something that is a piece of what is called souvenir magic. Now, what the heck is souvenir magic, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. Anyway, what souvenir magic is, it's basically a type of magic where most of the time at magic, at the end of the trick, all the spectator is left with is the memory of the trick. And the memory, it can be a very powerful thing. It can be manipulated and stuff like that. What's even better than a memory is an object that symbolizes the memory. In this case, a piece of Juicier Fruit gum. Kind of interesting, but the idea is that in this trick, it's crazy because this souvenir, it's crazy how much this leaves people with. Especially, this whole, even if you don't hand out the card at the end, even if you just hand out this is just crazy at the end of the trick to hand out to. But what's really cool about this particular trick is that this trick involves what's called a kicker ending. This is the first time I'm sharing this kind of thing here on YouTube. But what a kicker ending is, it's basically where you have this really cool magic moment. But what the spectator doesn't realize is that the real magic is still coming. And so in this case, what it is that the first trick is when, you rub the logo. Here, let me do it for you. You rub the logo and it changes into, the name of their sign. Not their sign, but their card. But the kicker ending that they don't know is going to come is that when you take the gum out of the wrapper, it's not gum, but it's actually their card folded up inside the wrapper of the Juicy Fruit gum that you had in your pocket since the very beginning. So it's a crazy, crazy trick. And here's basically what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to share with this in a moment. What you're going to do is you're going to click the link down below, you enter your email, and you'll be emailed with a free PDF where you can print out this Juicy Fruit thing on just regular paper. And you also need some tinfoil as well. So if you have scissors, glue, tinfoil, and you get this free PDF, you'll be ready to go. And also a deck of cards. You need a deck of cards. But here we go. Let's go. Alright, for this tutorial, I'm going to be using just some regular old blue bicycle cards. Nothing's fancy about that. You can pretty much get them at any random department store. But anyway, here's basically what's going to happen. First off, what I'm going to show you how to prepare the gimmick. That's the first part. There is a little bit of a setup. Not hard, though. So what you are going to need is a duplicate 6. Now, I know what you're thinking, well, duplicate cards is kind of obvious. It really isn't, because if you present this the right way, people will never guess that it's actually a duplicate card in play. Okay? So let me show you this. So I'm going to show you how to prepare a Juicy Fruit gimmick right now. What you're going to need is you click the link down below, you print out the PDF. I've made several of these, and you'll get this. And you're also going to need to get some tinfoil, some glue, and scissors. So basically what you do, once you print this out, you're going to get this. And basically, on this PDF, what happens is that, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's lines here. All you want to do is you want to cut on those lines, and those will get you each individual wrapper. So once you cut it, you'll get something like this. And then all you have to do is cut off the excess white, just like this. And now you get the excess white. Now, if you have some high gloss paper, that would work better, even better. But the thing is that no one ever realizes that this is just regular paper, because no one ever really thinks about it that much. So once you cut out your wrapper, you should have something that looks like this. Sorry, I have a piece of, whatever. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look pretty much like a wrapper would. And in this case, I see that I have a little bit of white still there, so I'm just going to trim that off. So what you're going to do from here is you're going to want to fold this. So the first fold you're going to make is going to be right in the middle between the 6 of hearts and the Juicy Fruit side, okay? So you're going to make a fold right there. And then you're going to take this little flappy yellow end and you're going to fold it over just like that. So what you should end up with, not even trifold, but a trifold thing where on one of the trifolds you have Juicy Fruit, the next one you have 6 of hearts, and then the next one is just blank. So what you're going to do from here is you're going to want to fold your card. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start on the face. You're going to want to fold one side into thirds and then fold the other side like this. So you get this nice little compact thing that's roughly the size of a piece of gum. Okay? So what you're going to want to do from here is you want to keep the pieces pretty even, but you want to cut out a roughly square, you want to cut out a nice big, roughly rectangle piece of tinfoil. Now, it's not exact in this case. Normally I do a little bit better job, but since it's just a tutorial, it doesn't matter. So once you do that, your preparation, here, let me throw this aside. You're going to fold the card, and you're going to stick the card in the middle of it, just like this. You're going to fold one side over, and you're going to fold the other side over, and you want to really crease it down, okay? And we just fold like this, and then you fold, and you fold, okay? So you really want to just crease it down. Don't be worried about a whole bunch of crinkles and stuff. That's exactly what you want, okay? Because no one's ever going to pay that close of attention. So in the end, you should have something that, should look pretty much like a wrapped up piece of gum. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but it's not that bad. From here, what you're going to do is, this is where the glue comes into play. You're going to stick this little wrapper thing, your foiled card, I guess you would call it. That sounded weird, foiled card. But anyway, you're going to stick that. I'm going to sit down for this part. You're going to stick that into your little Juicy Fruit yellow paper wrapper, and you're going to fold, and you're going to go over those folds, so you end up with 6 of hearts on one side, and you're going to end up with this Juicy Fruit on the other. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold over, so that you have this yellow, and then Juicy Fruit is going to go over that. So, and this is how it's going to connect together. So on one side I have 6 of hearts, on the other I have Juicier Fruit, and beneath that I have this little extra yellow flap. So from here I'm going to take my glue, just some regular old Elmer's glue stick, and I'm going to put some glue on that little yellow extra little piece of flap right there, and then I'm going to stick Juicier Fruit to it. It doesn't have to reach the exact edge, but as long as you just get something like that, you'll be good. And from here, what you want to do is you want to set, and you want to set it face down most of the time, but you just want to set an object on top of it, just to kind of hold it there. We don't want to do a heavier object, but just kind of hold it there as it dries quickly. So it'll be a quick drying process. So, once you've done that, let me get rid of all this junk. From here, that's pretty much it. That's how you prepare the gimmick. And the first time you do this, it's going to be a little bit more complicated, but once you get good at doing this, it'll take you maybe 10, 15 seconds to make a gimmick. It's super quick, okay? And you can use, in these little yellow sleeves, you can use these sleeves over and over again. Sometimes the sizing will be a little bit wrong, but that's okay. So, here, I'm moving my foil away a little bit. So, what you're going to do from here, in the actual trick, I've got a little bit of glue on my hands, but whatever, is you're going to want to take your duplicate 6 from another deck, and that 6 is what you're going to force on your spectator. Now, obviously, you want to make sure you don't have another 6 in the blue deck that you're using, just for reasons. But what you're going to do from here is you're going to force this 6. So I'm going to teach you a little bit of a force while that's drying. So the force I use in the performance is called I think it's called the underspread force or the touch force, whatever you want to call it. But basically all that happens is, it's basically a cull force that's easier. So what a cull is when you basically take a card, and it looks like you're just spraying the cards. What I'm doing is I'm taking their card, and I'm sliding it out underneath the deck, like that. And so what this force does, normally when I do this, I'll do like just a regular old cull force, where I'm culling a card, but I haven't taught culling yet, and it's a little bit more difficult to do, so I'll just teach this for now. So what I do is I thumb over the top card into my hand like this, and I say, here, just say stop. Actually, and what I'm doing here is I'm just pushing over a few cards like this. I say, actually, just touch any card. And it looks like I'm just taking a couple cards, I'm just going, just touch any card, and there can really touch any card. But what happens is, now I'm going to hold these cards underneath the spread. Now, I don't want to hold them out like this because then people are going to see it. But I have them kind of ride beneath the spread like that. And as they're riding beneath the spread, no one sees them. Someone touches a card. And what happens is when they touch a card, because they're riding underneath the spread, these cards are going to go on top of the card they touch. So when I square up to show them the card, what happens is that rather than it being their card, because I've got these cards riding underneath, when I tap it, those cards are going to slide into place as the cards they chose. And that's a very simple and beautiful force. And then another easy force is called the riffle force, where all you do is you swing cut this into the deck, or just a regular cut, whatever. Okay, but whatever you do, you get this into the middle, and you get a pinky break. I believe I've taught the pinky break here on the channel. And if I haven't, all it is just holding a break with your pinky. You're just going to get a little break, pinky break, like that. I believe I taught the double undercut, and when I did that, I taught about the pinky break, but correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, okay? But you have a pinky break, and from here, all you do is you riffle down the side of the deck, and whenever they call stop, instead you're gonna make it look like you're just breaking it where they say stop. What you're actually gonna do is from the back, what's happening is you're gonna let go with your thumb, you're gonna lift at the break, and give them the card from the break. So it does not matter where they say stop, you're always gonna lift from the break. It's about timing. Where you time it and lifting it. So it's going to take a little bit of practice. Not bad though. And once you're done, you lift and you'll be able to always get it at the break. So you riffle there. So you give them this card, and however you do it, you just show them the card, 6 of hearts obviously. And what you're going to do from here is you're going to want to control it to the top of the deck. So in the performance you guys saw, actually I don't remember what control I used. Oh wait, yeah, I used a little bit of a riffle control. Kind of a cool control to do. But you can just use that basic double undercut we've talked about to control that card back to the top. And the way you do this is that when you're showing them the card, if you did the underspread force, you'll show it like this. Then you come back here, you get your pinky break, and you riffle off one card with your thumb. You just pull up and you riffle one, and you stick your pinky in there to get a break, and then you do your double or your triple undercut. And that gets the card back to the top. So once it's on top, from here you're going to palm the card off. And all palming is this is just a basic overview of palming. Basically, between this little this little base area of your thumb and the tip of your pinky, you're going to be pushing inward just slightly to hold a card in place there. Most people think palming's this. It's not. It's just that. You hold it there, and you have the card palmed. So a very easy way to get into palm that I did in the performance was I just push over the card, and I push it into palm position. And I do this as I'm using some misdirection, and I go to my pocket. And obviously, I have the Juicier Fruit gum in my pocket. So I have the Juicier Fruit gum in my pocket. I push off the card into a palm, and one thing to make sure is that when you put the Juicier Fruit in your gum in your pocket, you want to make sure the Juicier Fruit logo is facing toward them. So I palm it off, I set the deck down here, and I have it palmed. They don't know that. I go to my... Apologies for that. Sorry, my camera does this weird thing sometimes where it just cuts off the video for a second. Sorry about that. We'll fix it now. Where was I? Anyway, what you're going to do is once you have this palmed, you go to your pocket, and as you go to your pocket, when you go to your pocket, all you're going to do is you're going to reach into your pocket, you're going to leave the palmed card inside your pocket, and you're going to come out with the Juicier Fruit gum. So the card's in my pocket, and the Juicier Fruit gum's out here. And people, this flies by so beautifully. Now, that's one way. A little bit harder way, but you know, if you're not into palming, you might do this, is that you have this in this pocket, and you go to, with the deck in your hands, you go to both pockets, and, you know, the Juicier Fruit's obviously going to come out of this pocket, but pretend like you're, you know, trying to find it. And as you do, all you're going to do is you just push over this card, and you leave that top card inside your pocket. So I just come down here, I say, where was it? Yes, it was, it's right here. And what happens is I've literally just left the card in my pocket that way. However you do it, just leave it in your pocket. So you set the deck down here, and now you're going to make the logo. You're just going to take the logo, and you're going to rub it, and it's going to change. Now, all that's happening here is that because Juicier Fruit is on one side, Six of Hearts is on the other, all you have to do is just flip this over. So there are a couple ways to do it. One way you could do it is you could just, like that. And all you do is you hold it at your fingertips here, and you let it fall, but you use these fingers to kind of flip it over as it falls. And you also help this, and you come down here, you go, and you hold it, and the logo changes. Now, in that case, I had Juicier Fruit, sorry. And it changes. Another option, and this is my favorite one, is where you rub the logo like this. And all you do is you hold it in this position, and you come back and you rub. And as you're about to rub the card, all you do is use these fingers to sort of roll it over as you rub it. So you just kind of, you rub it, and you have it change, and now it matches, you know, their card. So once you have that, you leave that here, and then what's really cool is I now hand the deck to them. I have them go through the cards, and they find that their card is no longer inside the deck. And they really can go through every single card. They find it's no longer there, and now you go into the next part. And from here, what I do is I like to just take the sleeve off like this, and I like to show my hands very empty like this, just holding it gently, and I unwrap the wrapper a little bit, and I like to kind of tear it like this. And I like to kind of bend it back, and I pull this out a little bit to show them the card in the wrapper. And then from here, I take it out, I toss the wrapper down, and I unfold toward me, keeping my hands showing empty. I have them name their card, Six of Hearts. And now I found their card. And it's that simple. Now, there is one more thing you might be asking me, and that is, in the beginning, you had them shuffle. How did you do that? Well, the answer is I did use the cull, but a very easy way you can do what I did is that, you know, when you take the deck back, sorry, I dropped a couple cards on the floor here, but when you come back, all you're going to do is you spread the cards, you say, so they're all shuffled in different, right? And as you're doing that, you're just looking for your Six of Hearts, and the Six of Hearts is still in my pocket, so let's just pretend we're getting the Ten of Diamonds. Once you find it, you just keep your finger on that point, you split the cards at that point, and you basically just cut that card back to the top like that. So if I spread the cards, let's say I found my Six of Hearts there, and I just, that. It's that simple. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Yeah, so and that's it. At this point, you just lean back, you let them take over, examine stuff, and yeah, because there's nothing left to hide. Because one thing you might be saying, well, what if they flip this over and they see, oh, Juicier Fruit? Even if people figure that part out, which they most likely actually don't realize all you did was flip it over. They think you actually changed one of the logos. But if they do flip this over and say, you just rubbed this, even so, people still never figure out how you got the 6 of hearts in there. I've never had anyone figure that out. So, yeah, that's it. From here, there's nothing left to hide. The only thing is that the card's in your pocket, but no one has any reason to examine your pocket. Your pocket was never part of it, in their mind at least. And you just lean back. Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for watching the video. If you did, like it at least. Like the video. And also, please subscribe to my channel. Comment down below with any ideas you might have, how you like the video, that kind of stuff. Because I'm really excited. And another thing is, if you haven't yet, make sure you're checking my discussions tab on my channel. I thought it was the community tab, but it's actually just discussions. But anyway, go to the discussions tab. I post some stuff pretty regularly there, updates and stuff on the channel, so stay tuned for that. And also there I posted that on February 20th, if you didn't know yet, February 20th, I have a really cool trick called Camberwell, where I tear the corner of a card, and then the corner vanishes, clean as can be, and appears in an impossible location. So it's a really, really cool trick, created by a magician by the name of Kevin Booth. And what that tutorial is going to be is it's going to be almost like an add-on to the tutorial that this magician already made here on YouTube. He made a great tutorial here on YouTube, but I have some ideas and things, and I'm just going to be kind of more like an add-on sort of tutorial to what he did. So when that video comes out, I'm going to leave a link to where his tutorial was, so if you haven't yet, go watch his tutorial, you'll figure out how it's done, but then you watch my tutorial, and they'll work perfectly together. Or you can just learn it for the first time from my tutorial, that works too. So yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Said that many times already, but yeah. See you next time. Bye.